and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. Back again, a day late and a couple hours early. We're back to school already here, so I'm getting all confused already. Yes, yesterday was just not gonna work. But I'm early today, so we'll see. It'll probably be a while before anyone can find the stream. It's a strange time. But this may be for a while. Not this day, but this time maybe for a while. What's going on? We'll see. So I hope you are able to find this stream, and if not, it's always in video on demand in the on both YouTube and Twitch and Facebook, although that's going to change because Restream is changing all of their... I thought it was kind of grandfathered in because I'd had this account for so long, but I don't think so. I think they are going to screw everyone over, and the free accounts are going to be very limited now. So they're offering the same thing I have now for free for $6 a month, which is hard to get excited about. And if I have to pay for something, then it's very difficult to run multiple channels. Oh, so there we go. So I may actually consider. I'll wait until I get some more opinions in the chat, but I may even consider moving this stream onto the Upturned table channel, which already has monetization. But that may be a little confusing for some people. So I don't know. I don't know what the best move would be, but I really don't want to pay. Especially this is only once a week. The Upturned table is there's more people involved, so it's more often, content more often. All right. Oh yeah, that could be kind of a wonky canvas. Yeah, maybe I can draw a painting on the reverse as well. Actually, let me just use this as a template. So I hope everyone is doing well. And no Memorial Day break, or I mean Labor Day break. The kids are already back in school. They get out a little early, and that means they go back early. So it's a little strange. Because I always thought part of the reason for summer vacation, especially on pre-air conditioning, was that that took the kind of danger of having kids in a classroom in really bad heat, the kind of distracting heat that would keep them from even paying attention. I thought that was kind of the point. But they're going to be there for the hottest part of the summer, going back before September 1st. So a lot of buildings have been upgraded with air conditioning, and some of the older buildings that those are more countryside as well, are demolished. So hopefully it's not going to be much of a problem, but them just trying to force, more class time in will be interesting. Interesting to see how that works. So I'm trying to show kind of the back of a canvas. What is going on? So this would be the wood of the stretcher exposed. All right. And then I guess with color I can put the staples and things on the back. Yeah, I don't know how interesting that is. The back of a canvas. Or maybe one standing up as well. So something in a similar scale, but standing up. Oh, that's right, but actually the edge, I'm going to have to kind of fake it because the edge of the canvas would actually have the staples or the pins in it, so there wouldn't be place for eyes. So, yeah, that might not work. But, let's see if I can make this work. And then put this above. Yeah, a little overlap would be good. Yeah, something like that. All right. An exciting Wednesday stream. All right. What's going on? Got some memory issues here. Yeah, does that happen for you guys? Let's see. Does that happen for you when I scale stuff? Yeah, maybe. All right. So then I can decide if I want to make them all blank or colorful or maybe just something ridiculous and messy. Okay. Oh, I watched the House of the Dragon, the Game of Thrones, I guess, prequel. But it's the one, like the series that came after. I guess there were several in pre-production, but none of them made it, except for this one. And I think because this one can be more limited in scope, and also it's not based on. It's based on a history, not based on a book. So there's no. They're not having. They don't have any access to any dialogue, which is interesting. So the writers get to decide how it sounds and, you know, fill in the details of the characters because just the events in the world are explained. And I guess the book itself is told from multiple viewpoints. So you don't know what's true. And the showrunner said that they're trying to make the objective history. So what really happened between the two conflicting accounts of this time. So, who knows? The casting is not great. The casting is very odd so far. So we'll see how good it'll be. I mean, it's an interesting story. There's a lot of action and a lot of CG dragons already. So it's going to be expensive, which will also make it short. And the thing that immediately I didn't like, but I guess they had to do, was a lot of nods to the previous series. They're tying things into the TV series very much. I guess because it's HBO. Why wouldn't they? But that series was not... It didn't end well. So I'm not sure how good of an idea that is. And there's a couple of shots that are already kind of like, remember that? Remember? You remember what's going to happen? So, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to go well. I think I'll enjoy it much more than Rings of Power. Because Rings of Power looks a little heavy-handed, and they're already pulling the race card for guilt viewers or whatever, to get people to watch out of guilt. You've seen it, right? Oh yeah. Of course. I have to watch it. Yeah, it's gonna be weird. And it's Amazon too. They have very deep pockets. It just it's a little scary because now that we have a film version of the Peter Jackson version of Lord of the Rings, which not everyone's happy with. I think even, hey, unknown girl, how's it going? Oh yeah, sorry, I had a little hiccup of a false start. So yeah, I didn't think the Twitter Twitter entry updated. So yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit early and a day late and a couple of hours early. So it's good to see you. So no getting ready for dinner yet. It's just after lunch. But and I got your message too. Thank you so much for the buying the book, and also because I've just been I haven't gone into the back end of Lulu. It also let me know that Lulu just changed their policies on the books, and so I have to update everything that's on there right now. Because they didn't. They won't sell the updated copy of the book because it all has to be approved by the authors. But yeah, thank you so much. That's very sweet. Yes, so I'll be working on getting the new one together, and I think I'll post also in the comment section on Go Comics and see if I get any feedback. See how much people are actually reading or interested on that site. All right. But hope you're doing well, unknown girl. It's good to see you. Oh, and thank you for catching that very impromptu painting stream that I did with Nick on Saturday night here. I didn't have anything ready for painting. I'm kind of always surrounded by hobby stuff because the desk over there is all for painting. But I don't have anything set for streaming. And Nick's got a really nice setup going, so he asked if I wanted to do it, and I didn't have time to put things together, so it took forever for me to get his sound and the camera working. And then I realized, I have nothing to paint. So that was fun. I guess I'll probably be assembling things as well next time. But maybe board games, painting board games will be a good thing to do. I've got a lot of board game miniatures. All right. Oh, we can do a cup and saucer joke. Oh, that might be good. The lid of the coffee. Yeah, that's good. Let's get that the same size. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I think I have to mess with my voice. I didn't double check the sound levels, so I was a little quiet, and Nick was talking a lot. Well, he was talking more, so I guess it's good that his volume was good. But yeah, that was a neat idea. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work at first, and it's a little odd because what you're seeing, the preview, unless you're watching both streams live, and then there'll be some kind of weird delay. But what he's saying to me in Discord, I guess it works. Does it work? The time delay works when it goes out, but it doesn't work for me live. So he's saying things and I can't see. He's like, oh yeah, and then look at this, but I'm watching the stream, so it's like 10 seconds delay, maybe something like that. And so I can't see what what he's referring to. And he did the same thing. I was like, oh, show me what you were painting. And I held something up, and then like 10 seconds later, hey, AHD, how's it going? So I guess a little coffee today. Coffee, and then the other one is canvases, blank canvases. So yeah, just doing some... just trying to come up with some ideas. Oh, good. Well, thanks, Unknown Girl. Yeah, thank you so much for having you in chat. Helped a lot so that I knew it wasn't completely crazy. I still had all kinds of focus problems, but I'll get that worked out. I'll either change cameras or yeah, figure something out. But that should be good. Nice. Good to hear. Let's see. Yeah, I can't believe summer is. It's not. It's not even close to over. But here, technically, summer is over for the students. They're already back to school, and I even think the summer uniforms are going to be. Oh, everybody has uniforms. All public schools, every school has a school uniform here. So, uh, all of them are as light as possible, but I think they're going to be too hot still. It's really brutal. It's Florida weather. As North Americans can understand. I guess just Americans. No place in Canada gets that muggy. Yeah, I liked that. I was kind of expecting that when I visited New Orleans in Louisiana, so similar, southeast of America. I was expecting that, so it was fine, and you just kind of got used to just being slimy all the time. But when I visited Florida, that was not. Yeah, that really caught me off guard. All right. Yeah, I think we'll. Wow, I think I'm just gonna go with these. My first impulses here instead of too much warming up. Yeah. Oh, a laptop. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, laptop on the work screen. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick with the lid of the coffee as saucer. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I think I'll stick with that one for now. That's good though. I like the think I've done a couple of like little jokes like that where what's on the laptop screen, a screen of a laptop, kind of a work from home jokes definitely are ripe. I think I can get rid of this line. I'll make this look better. I'll just do that with color instead of that thick black line. Yeah, because I can do all the shading and everything that way. Okay, so that's supposed to look like one of those big metal cans of coffee. It's actually not that big. And, oh, actually, they don't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be that giant family size. I'll leave it in that scale. And then canvases. So the faces can, or the eyes at least, can go on the fronts of these canvas, but this is going to be difficult. Maybe I'll just do staples on the back. The back side of art. Yeah, so I don't know why they're doing that, because it's the worst time of summer, and the kids are going back to school. And already this summer we've had a ton of heat stroke. There's been a lot of like school events and things that happened in June and mostly July, and a lot of people were like passing out from heat. So it's a bad summer to come back early. But, things have been such a mess with remote learning and everything that I guess they're just going to try to get as much time in as possible. So hopefully the kids will be okay. Okay, so here works, and then a wood color. Oh, actually, let's do a little bit darker back of the canvas. Oh, and yeah, like an ungessoed color, and then a wood color. Some more orangey red. Yeah, something like that. That reads kind of well. So yeah, I don't know what is Australia, is school, and not to dox you, no girl, but is school where you're from? Is it all uniforms as well, even in public school? Because this was the first time for me to Japan was the first time for me to ever see that. I think England might be similar, but yeah, in America only the Catholic schools are uniformed, or the the private schools with usually religion based are uniformed. But in Japan, everyone is. And it was funny. There was a I forget who the designer was, but one of the richer areas, still public school, but a richer area in Tokyo had like Giorgio Armani or somebody designed their uniforms. They did something really crazy. So just to kind of reinforce their elite status, I think it was Armani. It was somebody surprising to do Japanese school uniforms. But that was a bit of a controversy because it's still tax money, it's still public funds that fund public schools. So this was an effort by the rich, parents in the area to kind of stand out. But that was maybe a little too much. Yeah, uniforms everywhere. I see. Oh, wow. So, yeah, no uniforms for a while, but that was like 20 years ago. Yeah, can you imagine? I mean, it had to be a very rich neighborhood. Otherwise, the sticker shock would be terrifying. Um, and the status of, oh, you can't afford it? Oh, well, then why are you living in our neighborhood? Must have been pretty brutal. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll just do this so they're kind of light. I'll just do this in the shadow because I don't want to make them too 3D. This one will just be stapled on the back, which is not very accurate, but I don't want to do anything that's going to interfere with the eyes. But usually they'll be stapled on the side there, or tacks, like more decorative tacks kind of thing. I'll just do this to kind of fake it. I'm sure somebody will mention it in the comments. It had to be done. Yeah, so for these guys, yeah, I'll just do it with this shadow layer so it's not too overpowering. I gotta figure out if I want to do a painting on one of these. Is that right? Yeah, or is it always around the edge? It's been too long. Yeah, because yeah, on the edge, they're pinned on the edge and folded. Yeah, most of the time. It's been too long. No, I guess you can. You can do it both ways. Yeah, there are staples along the back. Actually, that would be better. That would be cleaner. Yeah, so maybe less, more modern ways they stretch all the way around the edge. Yeah, so maybe I won't do that then on this edge, just to keep it a little cleaner. Oops. Yeah, it can all be on the back. Yeah, I was trying to remember. Yeah, always on the back. Oh yeah, and yeah. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. Yeah, that would be a hard transition though, to go from being able to wear whatever you wanted to uniforms. It does kind of the one thing that works really well with that in Japan is that it nobody can show off their wealth or their eccentric taste or anything. Everyone looks very much the same. And then when there's hair and kind of jewelry or makeup rules, then everybody looks very much the same. Hey K5, how's it going? Good to see ya. Yeah, sorry, a little early and off a day, but as usual, some kind of nonsense. Yeah, so the what am I selecting here? Oh, it's just going outside? Yeah, weird. Yeah, so I was contiguous sample all layers. Boom. There we go. Yeah, so that had to be a weird transition, but it does help. It does help hide if the area that the school covers has like rich neighborhoods and poor neighborhoods. Everyone looks exactly the same, so there's not that social scrutiny. Yeah, I think it must help a little bit for bullying and things, and I think that's why they did it. And also, I think they're just imitating. I think the Japanese post-war school system is just imitating the British system. I'm not sure what I should. Maybe I'll do a weird brush. Got some of these like weird media brushes. Oh, this one says real oils. Let's see what it looks like here. Oh yeah. Nice. So let's mask that out, and I'll just do some nonsense on this canvas and see how it reads. Oh, the crows have been real bastards today. It's usually only on trash day that they get really excited, but they were going after some of the neighbors put cat food out for the few stray cats in the neighborhood, and they were going after that like crazy. It's like these little social events where the little murder of crows kept collecting. There we go, a beautiful abstract painting. Yeah, the U.S. only Catholic schools and the private schools have uniforms, and they're not as nice for the most part as a lot of the ones I've seen in Japan. Wow, that works. That works as a oil-looking type thing. Where's my soft round? There we go. Yeah, so it's much less common, and there's also then people, I guess, if you break any of the rules for hair or jewelry or whatever at the private schools, you'd be sent home too. But I still remember kids being sent home, or in my generation, dating myself, a lot of print t-shirts. So kids just wear a lot of t-shirts to school, and sometimes the t-shirts said obscene things or made some sort of like sexual innuendo joke or something, or just had something rude on them, like Mickey Mouse flipping the bird or some like weird 70s thing. So I remember some kids either had to go home and change their shirt or wear their t-shirt inside out all day with the the tag hanging out in the back, so that people weren't distracted. And it was mostly their excuse was you're distracting the other your classmates, so you can't wear certain things. So I always thought that was very funny. And sometimes girls, if they wore like a skirt that was too short, or sometimes very high heels, there was girls that would wear, like 4-inch, 5-inch tall heels that they couldn't walk in very well, and got very distracting at school. Sometimes you'd see that. So yeah, but just a lot of jeans and t-shirts. And but you could really see, so that's why, like, classically in like a lot of Hollywood movies, schools, American schools are shown to really have social classes, and the cliques are very strong, because the preppies and the rich kids are always wearing like brands that are very obvious, like whatever was popular at that time. And some kids wear the same thing to school every day because they don't have anything. So that becomes really obvious really fast. And there were even kids, I remember in American schools, there were like breakfast programs. So the kids that literally had, really either very hardworking, busy parents that, what should we do? That were gone before they left for school, and so didn't make them any breakfast. They could get to school early and get breakfast, like a free breakfast. But they were very shy about that in a lot of cases, because it meant, just kind of told everybody that your family's not doing well. It might be different now. It might not be so much of a stigma, but I remember that. And some kids had like these like tickets that they got free, tickets that paid for their lunch. as well. And my best friend in middle school, junior high school, his grandmother worked at the cafeteria, so we would always get a lot of freebies and extras and stuff, an extra slice of pizza or whatever. That was always fun. It's all who you know. Oh, maybe I should do a little shadow back here. But yeah, that's funny, and like right out of the gate, you're wondering about, hey, Manic Alien, how's it going? I've been doing this for a while. And yes, exactly, Manic Alien, where are the people? Thank you. I'm glad you've been watching. That's what I question as well. Where are these people? These so-called viewers. Yeah. Oh, I've got a very happy little hang going on, so I don't need to do crowd control or force K5 or somebody in the chat to have to wrangle an unruly chat. So I don't mind at all. Small is not bad. They are missing out. Exactly, Unknown Girl. They don't know what they're missing. It's an acquired taste. All right, I think that's going to be enough. Sometimes blank is better. This is actually a little too big, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not all that. Oh, there we go. It's not a mass appeal comic story. Yeah, actually, that's very true. I mean, that's why it's not. This isn't in any newspapers or magazines, because it doesn't have enough of a mass appeal. And I kind of ran into that right away. I talked to a guy, like in the 2005, I think, from Barnes and Noble, that liked the strip and was just trying to figure out a marketing angle. So, basically, all I'm thinking about when I created this is this an idea I like, and can I continue to make this? Is this a sustainable idea that I can enjoy making for a long time? But in the publishing world, you're thinking about, what color? I shouldn't make that yellow. I want to make this yellow. They're thinking about marketability, and like, what's the audience for this, and who do we sell this to? And his only suggestion was, okay, let's just do little gift books, kind of what he called chick lit. So chick as in the slang for women, lit as in literature. So books for like a quick little gift book by the cash register for impulse buys from women at bookstores. And I think women buy more books, at least more fiction probably, than men. But that was his only formulation. So he wanted me to put together a pitch that broke the cartoons into categories, and I just used kind of rooms of the house, and then office or holiday or whatever, to theme things, so that they could be broken up into their own little thematic books. But the pitch didn't go over, and I can't even imagine in their heyday how much. Oh no! What layer is this? Of course it is. What Barnes and Noble? How many people were pitching? Oops. We're pitching to Barnes and Noble, and so it didn't happen. But I wasn't. My heart really wasn't in it, compared to when I did like the Disney pitch and stuff. My heart just wasn't into getting that, because I wasn't really comfortable with that approach. I didn't want to also have that in my head that, the audience is female, so I better constantly keep that in mind, because I have no idea. I don't know how I would specifically write for a female audience if I needed to. It would take a while, and I don't think a guy can do that without pandering, or without doing something very patronizing or whatever. So I didn't think that was a great idea. So it's good it didn't happen. All right. Well, thanks, Manic Alien. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. Mm. Unruly. Uh-oh. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I think on those some of those initial raids from Hyphonics, I got the first round of people wanting to mess with me, and when they figured out I wasn't very fun to mess with, I wasn't very entertaining. My reactions were too small. People moved on. Oy, oy, oy. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, maybe the can in the can it should be a little darker, because there won't be any eyes or anything up here. There we go. Oh, maybe in here too. In the scoop. Everybody's got coffee. Whoop. Yeah, I think the internet, though, is proving a lot that you don't need a huge following. You just need, a dedicated group of people that really enjoy what you're doing. And I think in a lot of cases that's for fans and viewers or just audience in general, that's much more satisfying, because I think you feel more ownership over something that doesn't have huge mass appeal. You feel like you're more involved in it because you have more direct. I look at the chat where I think a lot of people with very busy chats can't even read it because it's going by so fast. So that's of course why they invented super chats. But yeah, I can't imagine being at that scale where only thing I paid attention to was when I heard the cash register ringing. So yeah, I like this situation much better, and I've always felt like that because I remember the kind of internet during the bubble time and during the internet in Los Angeles. We had a chance to kind of have some success doing internet marketing and websites, and I remember my partner, like, he just wanted to go as big as fast as possible, and it really is that more money, more problems kind of situation, because there's a sweet spot where you make a good amount and you have a very manageable customer base and things can run very smoothly, and then you just go right beyond that, and then you're like stepping on other people's toes. There's lawsuits, there's people are hacking your servers if it's internet, and there's a lot more to deal with. So it became suddenly much more expensive. I think at our height we had like a $10,000 a month hosting bill just for the internet, just for our servers. It was like up to 10 grand. Those were the the crazy bubble days of the first run of the internet. So like late 90s, early 2000s, and immediately I was like, yeah, we're over our heads. We're just have to keep hiring more people to just kind of put out fires, and immediately I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I suspected that was going to happen. And we were in such a perfect. There was like a year there where it was just so perfect. We had really nice income, and everything was easy to maintain. We had good control of it. It could be exactly what we wanted. We didn't have to chase anything. And immediately that went away. There's like this tipping point, like a threshold where all of a sudden you're in another league. And so then we just tried to sell. That was funny. As much as my partner wanted to push things to be as big as possible, he was also the first one to say, yeah, let's just sell, let's just bail on this, let's get out of here. So yeah, very funny. But that's hard to predict. But yeah, I had a feeling. It was like, yeah, we're right there. This is perfect, and that was true. But I think now, I mean, without any kind of the bubble, that the fake economics of early internet times, I think now you can't get in on anything. There's so much control now. you know, everything's been already so established. What are you going to, you know, compete against Amazon? You know, if you're doing anything that would even step on Amazon toes, you're going to get crushed. And and that's the thing that I'm so frustrated with, and that's the little bit of experience I've had just from, you know, platforms like YouTube and things. They're so opaque. You can't honestly compete on them because you have no idea what's actually going on. You could literally be on a blacklist that someone decided that you're too big a threat to them, and doesn't even have to do anything with your personal politics or whatever kind of content you're doing. It's just like, yeah, that's you're in the way kind of thing. I think that's very different from the early days, because yeah, there's a lot of people that are just not going to be able to find success, and I think those days are over. Growing a million subscriber channel without a real heavy gimmick is impossible. It's been just made impossible. Unless you look very, very harmless. There we go. Manic Alien is definitely living up to their name. Nice. Manic Alien needs adventure. Negro said, I've seen news reports earlier saying Apple users need to update their phones because old people's are being hacked. Yeah, that's true. That's the Apple, because they're always a smaller share of the market, have had for a long time this false confidence that they're safer than Android or Windows, because that larger customer or larger user base is a bigger target, and they're realizing now that they're just as vulnerable. Their security isn't any better. It's just like it wasn't worth going after. But one thing that people have realized, at least marketing people, is Apple users are better customers. They're richer. They're more willing to spend money on things. They're more willing to subscribe to things. That's why Apple has its own streaming service and everything. Actually, he's looking over here. I think that would make more sense. So yeah, mobile. A lot of mobile game developers in the early days, and before all of the when selling a game was important, and not this this new microtransaction kind of like looking for whales stuff. But they realized that Apple users were better customers, and if you look on maps, like the justification for this is you look on a map in the richer areas of the bigger cities and it's all iPhone users. And anybody can get snagged into that ecosystem. It's pretty easy once you start using Apple products. It's like, oh, it's more convenient than to buy a MacBook. It's more convenient than to use all of the cloud services and everything that Apple's offering. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that makes more sense. They're both staring. Hey, Sedona, how's it going? Oh, good night, Manic Alien. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. It's always good to have a random alien encounter. Right. Yeah, so it's no good. And Apple, I think everyone was doing it, but Apple was the first one to get caught with their kind of planned obsolescence thing, where they're using their software they slow down the phones with your software so that the battery has more life. And I've just noticed my Android is doing this weird thing where it has the ability to rapidly charge. Like the whole phone, if it's dead, can charge back to full in less than an hour. So it charges very, very fast. Like 30 minutes it can be at like 80% or something. But I think that's really bad for the battery. So I've been noticing the new software update now takes it does a slow charge, and it's if I depending on when I go to bed, it's paying attention to when I turn on my alarms and stuff, and so it only charges during the night now and at a slower rate. So it kind of controls. So I think it's trying to preserve battery health as well by doing that. All right. I think we've got two very quick ideas. Sometimes it just comes right out. It's the right balance of caffeine and inspiration. Nice. K5's gonna get some food. Oh yeah, I was thinking about. So tell me if this sounds fun or interesting at all. So always McDonald's in Japan always has limited sandwiches. They're always got some weird. Now I think it's all Hawaiian themed burgers. So it's like hamburgers with hash browns on them and a bunch of strange sauce and stuff. I don't want to get too far into fast food stuff, but instead of a convenience store find one of these weeks, I can just have McDonald's deliver. So it'll interrupt the stream, but I can go get McDonald's and then I can have that as the segment. You can see Japanese McDonald's. Did I do that before? It feels like maybe at the office in Osaka I did that before. I can't remember because it's they used to be very close. Making everybody hungry. But yeah, Japanese McDonald's always has really weird themed stuff, and like what they call like a American barbecue burger and stuff is so funny. It's just like these weird random things. It's the Japanese. It's like lost in translation. These like weird misinterpretations of this is what Americans eat. Mini M&Ms are still made. Nice. Yeah, but that's the funny trick. Going back to the smartphone thing, that's the cute little trick that they made, because remember, batteries used to be removable. So once the battery life was getting ridiculously short, like it only lasted 2 hours, you could change it. You could buy another one. And they decided they didn't want to make money doing that, so they literally welded the battery to the motherboard and plus they're so silly thin, but to the motherboard. And now when the battery dies, the phone is gone as well. But I wonder if they did that because they didn't want people, because they knew they couldn't control. There was no way to control. People would always find a way around it. They're like only using like an Apple brand battery, or Samsung or whatever the brand of your phone, only using a brand battery and not a third party, because they were already having so much trouble with, I don't know if it's the nickel cadmium or lithium batteries, whatever, catching on fire. Remember, they had they banned Samsung, some model of Samsung phones, from going on airplanes because they were catching on fire at high altitudes. So I wonder if that move was not only greed, but was also kind of this under the table kind of safety concern that they never talked about, because you don't want to start thinking about devices in your bag or your pocket like bursting into flame. So I wonder if that was actually a big part of the motivation, is they didn't want third-party cheap Chinese manufactured batteries, because I think China has had a lot more, because all their brand, the quality control is just trash. So the brands and people always looking for the cheapest option would let that happen a lot more. Yeah, things just bursting into flames. So I wonder if it was not only greed, but also a move to try to control that, because they knew people wouldn't. You can't command people to follow anything. Okay, so let me bring up the so I can remember where we were. All right. Oh, January 1st, 2006 was the last one. All right, so let me switch over to the comments, and thank you again, K5, for awesome idea of going through these guys sequentially. Okay, where's that one now? There we go. Okay, so that's one for today, but we're going to go back to 2006. Look at this amazing time machine. And you can do this at home. Yeah, so January 1st. Oh, God. January 1st, 2006 was the last one we looked at. Oh, yeah, which is the Sharpie. Yeah, so the Sharpie joke is because the original cartoons were all done in Sharpie. And yeah, that's nice that they let you do that now. I can't believe how when I first got a Japanese phone, when you changed phones, they would literally in the shop like connect two cables and run them through some console and transfer the data between the phones, like very, analog, very, you're just connecting things. But now that you have an account and things backed up, you just log into your account, either your Google or Apple account, and then just everything just migrates, wirelessly onto your new phone. I guess they had to do that because that keeps you very trapped. Because what are you going to do if you go from a Google to an Apple? That you're starting from scratch, basically. That makes it much more. The barrier to entry, is much higher because you're like, but I don't want to lose. I want to have that email. How do I get that old email on this phone? Then the people don't even want to think about it. It's probably very easy to do, but no one wants to consider it, so it keeps you using the same thing. It's funny. Oh yeah. Christmas cards and calendars. Yeah. I think using these guys for greeting cards would be good. And I had that other series of kind of emotionless, that appropriate responses series that I did of emotionless greetings. I always thought those would be good. I gotta just hook up with a good like print on demand. Somebody that does decent quality cards, and I think there are. I already looked this up. I remember years ago I looked this up. There are companies that will actually, you're not signing anything, but you can type messages and they'll print a card and mail it to someone and let you customize it. I know that there's companies that do that. Yeah, that would be good. Uh-oh, unknown girl is summoning Will. Lil Will is going to materialize soon. Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes, Adona, you did. That's right. Yeah, what was the I'm sure I've bookmarked it, but I thought you recommended a website also that did that. Forget who that was, and there probably are a few. But yeah, no, that's a good idea. Yeah, calendars print on demand calendars are fine, but calendars I've always been afraid of because I've seen so many people with boxes in their garage of like 2012 calendars and literally they have 2012 of them because calendars have such a limited window where you can sell them, and then immediately you're discounting them, so that's always tough. That is tough. All right, so let's take a look at, I guess, January 2nd. Yes, January 2nd, 2006. All right. Oh, and we've seen this guy already. The rubber stamp knew he had more to say to the world than paid in full. So a little rubber stamp joke that people have found, but no one has commented on. And it's another one of those like shrimpy old school ones where the composition's a little different. All right. And we'll see if we'll get out of January today. Oh, there we go. A little cup ramen. The cup of instant noodles never felt as spontaneous as one might think. So he's made instantaneously, but he's not spontaneous in personality. January 3rd. Oh, and a sweaty drink. The paper cup accepted the leaking as a consequence of old age. So nothing like an incontinence joke. I guess I shouldn't have made the liquid quite that color. Oh, thanks, Sedona. Yeah, that's my little. I think I had a. I keep saying it. I had a sticker of this as well. This ramen was a sticker as well. All right, and the leaking paper cup I don't think made the sticker. the sticker cut. It's a little too on the nose. January 5th. He tried to forget the unpleasantness with the eggplant. It's another one of those kind of random. And of course, the eggplant has no eyes or anything. So, what kind of unpleasantness you can have with an eggplant? I guess that's changed so much because this is pre eggplant emoji. You know, this is pre like emoji days because it's 2003. So it may have existed, but hasn't become the, you know, you can't read emojis like hieroglyphics the way you can now. So eggplant, I wasn't referencing anything that sexual or specific, but I guess now it reads very much like that. January 6th, the brute force required to open the jar gave him a sense of invulnerability. And again, it's just a jar of brine or juice or whatever from some kind of pickled vegetable that's no longer there. Oh, there we go. January 7th. The bathroom wastebasket felt he would never be rid of the used Band-Aid. It's a pretty girthy eggplant. It's a European. Not that the Asian eggplants are much more slender. Anyhow, yeah. So that's I always am obsessed with that. The things you throw away with adhesives like stickers from packaging or Band-Aids, and you put it in a lined trash bag, and sometimes that thing is just there for eternity. You'll never be rid of it, so the Band-Aid is just going to hang off of there. The poor eggplant has become synonymous now. All right, the can of gasoline was full of self-loathing for his part in the whole thing. Oh, I think this was a oh wait, what was this a reference to? I think it was either a news story about like an arson news story or gas prices in early 2000. No, I guess yeah, because oh yeah, that it was because yeah, remember the so after 9/11 in the U.S., gas, fuel prices, because of all the weird politics or weird diplomacy going on with the Middle East, fuel prices went crazy, and that's when airlines started adding that fuel fee. They like broke out like a service and fuel fee for tickets. So it used to be you could get really cheap tickets, especially international tickets, from airline carriers, and then suddenly the price went up because of the fuel. And so to not make it look like all the prices had doubled, they broke out a fuel charge. So the prices went up a bit, but they stayed, not insane. But then they almost doubled when you added that fuel price. So I think that was that's what I'm referring to, is how insane gas prices and fuel prices just 20 years ago, they were out of fucking control again. Yeah, but that was, 9/11 related, because I think by now, aren't we invading Iraq and Afghanistan? And yeah, I don't remember the timeline, but yeah, already America's back to war. January 9th, any sudden movement made the shaken can of soda uneasy. He's so tense. And look at this clumsy. I don't think they even make these anymore because of the environmental concern, but it used to be the plastic 6-pack ring, where you can hold it in the middle and just peel cans off. And then it's like a handle for the remaining cans, basically, the empty ring. But I don't think they make those anymore because we've got too many pictures of seabirds and turtles and stuff wearing those as like chokered necklaces. All right. Here we go. January 10th, 2006. The broken jar of jelly just stared in disbelief at his former contents standing there before him. Yeah, we've already seen this one. Yeah, that was just one of those silly ideas that you could break a jar of jelly and the contents would remain intact. As a spooky reminder. I don't think that would ever work, but it's visually funny. Oh, and here's the first, not sitting on a surface, on a floor or a tabletop or a counter kind of image. I think I've done mostly in the bathroom. I've done like the floor of the shower, or this is now underwater. So July 11th, few things were as alarming to the bar of soap as a long-term submersion. So he's just going to dissolve away. Oh, they still do have the rings for beer. Yeah, you definitely have to cut them because don't ever degrade. So they'll, yeah, if they go into the ocean, they stay a little six-headed trap, a six-ring trap for anything that swims into it. Oh, here we go. I forget. There's so many of these I forget. In these uncertain times, she was comfortable. She was uncomfortable with the name, the pill. Yeah, it was funny because you couldn't talk about birth control. Like when the pill was invented, it was like the very beginning of kind of feminism and women's rights and things being very mainstream, and the pill was like an important part of that in the 60s, like the late 50s, 60s. But you couldn't talk about it in mixed company very easily, and I think that's still a bit of the case in Japan. But the birth control pill was then just known as the pill. Like you would say the pill, and everyone knew what you meant because are you on the pill? Because you wouldn't ever want to say birth control. So it's a funny kind of social stigma. But the interesting thing is that stigma still exists in Japan for birth control. So it would make a lot of sense, once you became, what's the what I don't know what even the medical term is, but once you could possibility of getting pregnant, you would want to make sure that if you didn't want that you could have some control over that. And high school girls though here will not take birth control because that's the message is, and especially if parents allow their daughters to do that, or if women decide to do that, then they are playgirls and they want to have as many lovers as possible, and they're horrible people because they're just sex crazed maniacs. So the social kind of pressure of birth control is very odd here. So abortion is much more common and accessible and prevalent, and there's no issue here over abortion services because not for religious reasons, just purely social reasons. Women don't want to be on birth control because that either sends the wrong message to men or their family or society as a whole. I don't know exactly who this is that's so upset about this, but it's a very interesting thing because that goes against a lot of my thinking very much. But we still, it's still the jury is still out about what I guess we've had 50 years of data, so we should know, but they keep kind of reformulating them. But we don't quite know the long-term effects of, a woman's whole reproductive life using the pill, kind of going on and off of the pill, if that actually hurts fertility or what it does. We still have no idea. And of course, companies, make a lot of money on them, so they constantly reformulate them to do different miraculous things. But so I did there was something that triggered the idea of the pill. Why is it called the pill? Being uncomfortably the only pill. Anyhow, blah blah blah. January 13th, Superglue's long career of household rescue was ended by the very substance he contained permanently sealing his cap. Wow, that is a novella. Yeah, but that's always the danger if you're sloppy with your use, or you squeeze a little too hard. Any very strong glue will just glue its cap directly to it. So I'm always terrified with that with the Gorilla Glue. I've got a thing of Gorilla Glue for kind of emergency stuff, and that takes forever to dry. But when it dries, it's just like an unbreakable bond. So I'm waiting for the day that I can no longer open my Gorilla Glue. All right. The box of instant potatoes saw right through the low-calorie salad dressing's lies. I don't know why diet salad dressing would be deceitful, but that's the joke. So instant potatoes are honest, right? Because they are instant. Yeah, I forget if there was some like weird ingredient or something. I remember the trying to make low-calorie potato chips was a nightmare. Low-fat potato chips was a nightmare. But yeah, yeah. I even because I do use a lot of super glue with hobby stuff, And sometimes I'm like holding a piece and didn't realize that the glue got like, kind of soaked under my finger. And so I holding two pieces together until the glue starts to bond, and then go to try to take my hand away. I have to just rip, the little bit of skin that adhered, and like that always feels scary, because it's like, what if it's just the bond is a little bit harder and I'm actually going to draw blood, trying to get my finger free. But I hate that feeling when it's like I have no idea I'm gluing myself to something and then try to drop it and it's stuck. The slowly increasing number of ketchup packets began to worry the bottle. Yeah, that was always a thing. Anytime you ordered from like a burger place or whatever, wherever you would get carry out, and they would just, if you got fries or whatever, they would literally take a hand and put it in a big container of little foil packets of ketchup and just throw a handful, which could be like 8, 10, 12. It depends on how big your hands were. Throw those right into the bag. So you always had this like weirdly accumulating collection of like crinkled ketchup packets. Hello, Will. How's it going? You did get summoned. I think that was Sedona summoned. Sedona said the magic spell that brings you around. Oh yeah, unknown girl. Yeah, yeah. Nice. All right, ketchup packets. Mint chocolate chip ice cream dismissed popsicles as nothing more than juice and sticks. We've seen this one before. Yeah, what is it? The pecking order, the social strata of freezer freezer desserts. So that's January 16th. 17th. Cheese and crackers were cheese and crackers was not exactly a battle of wits. Oh, I see. I was trying to say it as a whole thing. Yeah. I don't know if does that need a were? Yeah. No, I think I'm trying to make it like a phrase that you always say together. It wouldn't be plural. I'm not sure grammatically. Nobody attacked it grammatically. Cheese and crackers was not exactly a battle of wits. Ha. It seems like that should be a word, but I think the way that I'm trying to use it is as a single thing. That's why I'm doing was. It's not even funny enough to think about it too long. January 18th, the sugar bowl, now empty, contemplated life as just a bowl. Yeah, always that joke of like the thing being used up or the thing not having its purpose anymore keeps coming up. No matter canned or dried, different types of beans had different needs. Bean needs. So dried beans, canned beans. So diverse. Oh man, look at this old technology. The entire problem of the tabletop suffered under the entire population of the tabletop suffered under the tyranny of the telemarketers. Yeah, so look at these cordless phones with the big goofy antennas and answering machines with the blinking number of messages. Wow, I can't believe that's all handled like on our phones and on like voicemail systems and stuff now that don't physically, have any sort of electronics or component. It's amazing how it's all gone. Yeah, answering machine, and like if this was even older, it wouldn't even be digital recording. It would be a cassette. That was insane. Like you couldn't take any more messages because the cassette on your answering machine was full. That's so crazy. Nice. Yeah, I don't think I think it's probably difficult to even get that to work anymore, like within a normal system, because I think even most phone service now has some sort of voicemail built into it when calls aren't answered. Old tech, old tech. All right, January 21st. Oh, I am kind of starting to skip now a little bit. It's not every day. Being correct twice a day didn't alleviate the pain of being solely a wall decoration. Episode 172. What is that? 10 months ago. Episode 172. Did somebody reference? I won't do that. Oh, that's that. Yeah, it's going to be so general. Nice. All right. Being a wall decoration. 22nd. Oh, more ice cream jokes. The new pint of ice cream further complicated the frosty, half-eaten existence of the half gallon of vanilla. Yeah, always. I think because like you buy this quantity, this like large container of vanilla ice cream for like a birthday party, or to have with cake or pie or something. But once the cake or the pie is gone, nobody eats just vanilla ice cream unless they're making a sundae or something. So I always remember a very nasty, frosty, like half-eaten, like family-size vanilla ice cream in the freezer. Always. So that's where that joke comes from. Is new ice cream enters and the vanilla just remains, and it just grows more and more frost over the surface. Yeah, and always, especially my mother would just buy the horrible store brand vanilla, so it was just terrible anyhow. If you didn't eat it with something, it was inedible. January 23rd. The bottle of whiskey and cigarettes were not inherently bad. They were just drawn that way. Oh, there's a Jessica Rabbit joke. They were drawn. Well, my joke is they were drawn badly. They were not drawn well. There's a tiny Zippo hiding in the background there for for Yum to criticize. But Yum's not here. That's good. So it passes. It passes. I'm gonna give it a break. Yum's not here to. That is not a great lighter. But no one's gonna be able to judge it because we're moving on. 24th, 2006. The pasta spoon was firmly sunk down the disposal and awaited his fate. I like how it looks like hair, like it's a bad hairstyle or something. Nice. And always the I guess because if it was white plastic, it could get stained by tomato sauce. But I love that, like, pasta utensils, like cheap ones especially, are always red plastic. So pasta spoons and tongs and things are always red plastic for your Italian pasta set. Oh, there we go. There was such a thing as too much raspberry lemonade. An overflow. January 26th, a toilet paper joke. The little tube of cardboard had nothing left to give, and it was a mix of relief and disappointment. You are such a treat, thank you. Is that a reference to the toilet paper? To the toilet paper or the cartoon? We may never know. Alright, let's see if we can finish up January. Sorry, I'm trying to get the joke on the screen. I keep not glancing enough. Nothing was quite as embarrassing for magazines as being left with their centerfolds hanging out. Yeah, magazine centerfolds. So, car magazines, motorcycle magazines, of course, Playboy, made that famous. I think a lot of the girly, like, pinups were always fold. I wonder what else has gatefold. I wonder if, like, there's centerfolds in, like, cat magazines or dog magazines or whatever. But, yeah, centerfolds hanging out of magazines. I wonder if, yeah. Well, Playboy doesn't exist anymore, does it? So, yeah, there are no more Playboy centerfolds. It's only Playboy.com or whatever. That's so depressing. Yeah, Playboy, first, they went non-nude for a year. So they did a year of no nudity, and then nobody bought it. And then they went back to nudity and died during the pandemic. So, no more pandemic. Uh-oh, Unknown Girls summoning... Unknown Girls' powers may be more than we believed. Oh, hey, Rev, how's it going? Before touch screen. Oh, and yeah, I'll try to remember touch on that. Yeah. So if some empty friend is lingering, is lurking, sorry, not lingering, is lurking. I'm so sorry I missed your. I just had a playback of one of the streams, and I saw that you asked in the chat about Sandman, and I have not watched Sandman yet on Netflix. I have to get around to doing that, and I didn't read. I read everything around the Sandman comics for some reason. I read a lot of Vertigo comics back in the day, and I read Sandman Mystery Theater, and I read like the Death miniseries and stuff. But I didn't have a whole run of Sandman. I would kind of dip in and out, so I didn't follow it very well. But I'm curious to see. I've heard good things visually and stuff. But yeah, so Some Empty Friend, to answer your question, which you may not actually be hearing, I haven't watched it yet. But as soon as I do, I will say something about it. January 28th. It was apparent that non-dairy was all they had in common. They were both non-dairy. So powder and cream version. Oof. Yeah, do you believe that? Yeah, March 20. And I think they did that when they went non-nude. That was back in March too. So March is a bad month for them. That is almost worthy of a cartoon. The only centerfold I appreciate is the Mrs. Fields cookie pamphlet. That is great, Sedona. I have to draw that. I have to now. I feel like I have to draw that. Oh, nice. Yeah, isn't that amazing? They just quietly disappeared. They quietly went out of business, and I think it's like Hugh Hefner died. It's his kids running it, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They just grew up privileged around a bunch of blonde blonde stepmothers, a harem of stepmothers. So I don't think they have any clue about what to do in a waning publishing industry. So yeah, isn't that sad? It just like went away, and that's really sad too. So R.C. Harvey died, the cartoonist and writer that I was working with for a long time to produce his website. So all of his writings and cartoons and things, and he criticized cartooning and comic books. But his dream, ever since he was, probably in the Navy, he started a magazine, like a newspaper in the Navy, and did a lot of illustrations for that. His dream was to get published in Playboy, because Playboy, Hugh Hefner had really good taste, kind of like the New Yorker had really good taste in cartoonists. So he employed some of the best cartoonists to do girly cartoons for, and sometimes not even girly cartoons for Playboy, and so that was his dream, to get published in Playboy, and he got published in everything around it, but never Playboy, because it's kind of a small elite group. They don't add new cartoonists, and so I think that was kind of it. That must feel like the end of your life, like your dream, your goal, like the thing you always wanted to happen is now impossible. Like you will never be published in Playboy because Playboy is no longer published. So that makes me very sad that that whole that possibility, that whole motivation just disappeared during the pandemic. Yeah, March 20th. And it sucks to like so many people, not the people that died from COVID-19, but the people that died of old age, or were very at the end of their life during the pandemic. That's the shittiest version of the world to go out on. It's just, that really sucks. It would have been really great, but I think he wouldn't have become what he did as far as being such an authority and a name in like criticism of cartooning and stuff if he had a successful cartooning career. He probably would just be a cartoonist. There were a couple of, he was also supposed to take over the I'm blanking on the guy's name, but the guy that did Dennis the Menace was stepping down and looking for another artist to take over that character, and Bob was really close to taking over for Hank Ketchum. Hank Ketchum, I think, is the cartoonist name, but that didn't happen either. But any of those things would have taken away from his writing, and I think his writing is so amazing that it's worth having that huge body of writing now as opposed to cartoons. I think because he still did a lot of cartooning. All right, January 29th, 2006. Even the occasional floating bubbles could not distract the dishwashing liquid. why we're trying to distract dishwashing liquid. Oh, and if anybody notices, I'm trying to get the words on the screen. If anybody notices any typos that I'm just reading past, let me know. January 30th, we're almost there. Sometimes it was hard to tell what was worse. What was worse? Third place or bowling? So this is obviously like me trying to amuse myself. So a third place bowling trophy. Yeah. So which is worse, being a third place or being a bowling trophy? Yikes! It's a poorly drawn trophy, but I think the crappiness of the drawing also makes it funnier. Of course, bowling. There's nothing wrong with bowling. I just think bowling trophies are funny. Competing in bowling is funny. Uh-oh. Sedona's been censored with that foul mouth of hers. Uh-oh. I didn't see it. Oh, weird. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't see the... K5, did you see what happened? Always the mysteries of YouTube. Ugh. Yes, third place bowling trophy. And let's see where we are here. 31st. Moose and Hairspray anxiously awaited the return of Big Hair. Yes. All right. Yeah, so definitely. Oh, yeah, and it's more, this is like the whole frowning era where everything has to frown. And the return of Big... Uh-oh, I'm being canceled. Maybe my hoping for the return of Big Hair is why I'll be canceled. Oh, man. Sedona's the only centerfold I appreciate is the Mrs. Fields cookie pamphlet. I'm gonna copy and paste that so I don't forget it. All right. Okay, let's get into February. There we go. Oh, look at that. The Easter lily continued to bloom beyond all holiday usefulness. Yeah, there's a lot of this type of lily around here. I don't know how they have propagated. I don't know if they're wild or people have planted them and they get So I said, "Oh, my Papa went to college to be an architect, but in every one of his French books is a nude sketch of my granny." Nice. 1K V-Bucks. Oh, nice. Nice. A aspiring artist when buildings just aren't curvy enough. All right. Oh, anyhow, there's those Easter lilies are everywhere. The house across the way has a little drain pipe that obviously is like clogged with you know, silt or whatever, that accumulation of weird dirt that sometimes, so the downspout has enough soil in it that there's actually this exact same kind of lily like growing straight out of it. I should take a photo of that before it goes away. But yeah, you just see these lilies and they grow really, really tall and they have that same kind of complicated, weird, thin leaf pattern and the giant those giant Easter lily flowers come off the top. But they just like randomly appear around here for some reason. I don't know if they're wild, indigenous, or somebody just like planted them and then they keep kind of like going dormant and coming back in random times. But there's a lot of random lilies around here. Oh, wow. That's really cool. Yeah, you have your grandfather's pinup from World War II. Oh, that's really funny. That's so cool, though, to see, like, kind of the secret aspirations, the road not taken, in people's lives where they still have the desire or need that outlet to do something like draw, like draw nudes. in architecture books, because like what they know they should do and what they know will be stable, make their life stable and make them money, they pursue, but they then always, aspire to secretly maybe to something else. Okay, one more and then we'll what a one to end up on. The large hard-boiled eggs felt time run. The bag of hard-boiled eggs felt time running out. They were expiring. I have no idea what a bag of hard-boiled eggs would do. They would last a while, you would think. All right, there's our stopping point, and it's such a bland drawing. I like how I can't be more lifeless. Felt time running out. The yeah, K5's love of, I hate hard-boiled eggs too. I hate that sulfury stink and then that weird green. Like if you bite into a hard-boiled egg, it's not just white and kind of, the orangey yellow, the yolk. There's like a green layer of something between the white and the yolk and the whatever the other part is, the white, I guess. The white and the yolk. There's always that weird, if you just pulled the yolk out, it's like got this green layer around it that's always so disgusting. The smell, that disgusting sulfury smell of very, factory farm hard-boiled eggs is disgusting. But real fresh, and probably like a little more dangerous, but real fresh farm eggs hard-boiled are amazing. It's crazy. There was a friend of my mother-in-law's that brought some eggs straight from a farm, and she hard-boiled them. I'm like, oh, what a waste of hard-boiled eggs. But with sea salt and freshly hard-boiled farm eggs, it was amazing. They actually had amazing flavor. It wasn't just that weird sulfury weirdness. The temperature made them smell good, and they tasted good, and a little bit of salt, and the flavor was amazing. Bagged eggs. You don't want a bag of hard-boiled eggs. But I've always been I'm not a big egg salad fan. I don't like hard-boiled eggs, but I have had amazing hard-boiled eggs. Wow. Oh, wow. Your grandfather was in the Pacific. Yeah, my mother's father was in the Pacific as well. He was just a radio operator. It was interesting, too, because he was a radio operator on a bomber or whatever, like a larger aircraft. And he was terrified of flying after the war. Like they had been through so much stuff, possibly like, almost shot down or doing, sorties that were very disturbingly dangerous. And, he was just waiting to die at any time. So he was terrified of flying. So the first thing that he did when he came back after the war and tried to be normal again was to get his pilot's license. So he had a private pilot's license. And flew a lot after his retirement. He flew a lot. Like they would fly to cities to go to dinner and stuff with a little Cessna. But I didn't know that. I always thought he was like interested in, and I thought he flew in the war and he was always interested in flying and everything. But actually it was a way to overcome the horrible trauma of the war and being afraid of being on airplanes, was to get his pilot's license, because the war like just messed him up as far as being in the air. Yeah, I'm so glad. I think after the experiences in Saipan and Okinawa, there was no way. The stories are so fucking horrible. I think Dan Carlin does in that Supernova in the East, that series that he did about Japan during the wartime. There's some horrifying accounts of what Japanese citizens did when they were faced with the invading soldiers. So that really only happened in Saipan, Guam, Saipan, and Okinawa. America never made it to the mainland. They bombed the hell out of the Japanese mainland, or kind of the main islands, but they'd never set foot on there. And but the accounts, it's just like, I don't want to go. It's really depressing to go into it. But the things that soldiers, what they did to their families, and what they did to civilians, and what civilians did to each other, and what soldiers did to each other, to prevent being captured by Americans because they were told Americans were demons and were going to tear them apart and eat them and rape them and do all kinds of horrible things, which were things that the Japanese did to Korean and Chinese. Oddly enough, the thing that you're the most afraid of is the thing that you're guilty of. But they were terrified of being captured. So the things that they would do to avoid capture or to, I mean, people just killed their families and killed that, without guns. Like they ran out of weapons. They had no bullets left. They had no grenades left. They had nothing left. And how do you think it is horrifying, freaking horrifying. So yeah, it's good that that it didn't go that far. Although, I don't know if the alternative could be called good in any way, but it's crazy. Those stories are absolutely crazy. And all Japanese people know that. All Japanese people know that happened. They're just like, yeah, that's what happened during the war. People just beat their children to death. Okay, cool. All right. All right. Well, we'll stop there. And here's a preview. Ooh, lotion. Car wax. Sorry. It's car wax. So next time, car wax. Okay. Sorry. Navy crafter opened up on the beach is what he was on. Wow, he didn't like talking about it. He's 18. Wow, I cried when I opened up the chest and saw his photo of his parents. Wow, yeah. In his breast pocket. Yeah, it's really, really sad. And I don't know, my grandfather never talked about any war experiences. My mother's father, never talked about anything. Yeah, big car wax cliffhanger. But yeah, the wartime stuff, and it's very interesting. That's the so my father's father was at Anzio and was in European. He was in Italy and in the European theater, and he talked all about it. And then he became a cop after the war. So he was talking about people being shot in the head and people dying all the time. He didn't have any. Just his personality like hardened him against all of that. And his experience, he was just a kid, and his experience during all of that really hardened him to be able to deal with that. So he would have had to become an ambulance, like an EMT or somebody that dealt with like horrible stuff, horrible blood and guts, because he was so desensitized to it. But my other grandfather didn't say a word about what he went through. Crazy. All right, let's do that. So now the writing must begin. Yeah, I don't think I got as much from this week's old archive as far as inspiration for tone. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Because the first thing that happened with my grandfather when he was just a beat cop is they were called to a house where a guy had his wife. It was like a domestic violence call, and a guy had his wife at gunpoint. He had a shotgun in the house, and people called because of he was torturing his wife. And my grandfather, his partner went in the house first, and the guy was just waiting, and the guy just shot him straight in the head, like right in the head, and blew his head off. And my grandfather still has that photo, that crime scene photo of his partner with just no head, in a little photo album. He's got this police photo album of all the most not specifically collecting horrifying things, but just memories and records of and I think the war desensitized him to it enough that, and it's so crazy because if he would have walked in first and to the house instead of his partner, that would have been him. There would have been no way whoever went in first was going to get killed, just like probably every action that they took in the war. Whoever walked into certain situations first was just dead, and you just didn't want to be first, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy. And he just he showed it when we were little kids. I remember as in elementary school, we're looking at photos from the war. And then, there's dead Germans and dead Italians. Oh, that's nice. And then, then it went into stuff from his police days. But he took enough photo. He actually, for a lot of books and things, it was requested that they asked permission to use some of his photos. He took a lot of photos during the war, so some pretty amazing stuff, and some last photos of some soldiers and things that their families wanted and things. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, definitely. I think it makes you, yeah, not fit back into normal life very well. So it's good that he, went into an ugly, uh, an ugly line of work because it was, yeah, probably the better thing he could do. It's funny though, because all of his brothers, it was four brothers. One of them died in the war. Three came back, and they all took the other two took desk jobs. They basically became like local bureaucrats, and one that was a lawyer and one was like a politician, and yeah, didn't didn't have that same sort of experience maybe, but yeah, very crazy. But they were, I think he was still kind of late to the war. I think my grandfather on my dad's side was pretty late to the war. I think by the time there was fighting in Italy, it was like 44, or it was pretty close to the D-Day and the end of stuff. All right. Okay, enough war stories. The happy war story. Are we talking about coffee or are we talking about World War II? Yikes. All right. So they so they let him think it was a saucer. Okay. There's something better than that, but yeah, that's the idea. Is that the cup is enjoying the lid of the coffee can as a saucer. So they're humoring him. They're tolerating it. They're worried about that situation. It was good to let him let him think it was a saucer. Let's see. They had to let him think it was a saucer. They don't know why he felt the need to. Uh, hmm. Yeah, there's got to be something funnier in there. Well, let's get back to that and see if there's a funnier way. Oh, that's right. And then the canvas one. Okay, so sometimes a blank canvas was less scary. So the scary part of a blank piece of paper or a blank canvas, the beginning of a creative process is always scary, terrifying. The beginning of something. But a bad painting is sometimes worse. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like a cat. Yeah, right. Like you unpack a box and set an empty box down where you're dealing with what was inside of it, and then there's a cat sitting in there, like a cat on a newspaper. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what's that it keeps happening, or that the fact that it's just wrong? I don't know if that scary thing is going to come across. Why scary? Um, let's see. Sometimes blank canvas was less scary, or wishing to be blank again. Missing the blank days of his youth. uh yeah, so yeah, every time they put down the lid, it became a saucer. less subjective. Oh. Oh, interesting. Yeah. That's good, K5. Yeah, blank canvas also less subjective. That's pretty good. Yeah, because the possibilities are over. Like it's trying to be something, and before it could have been anything. Oh, that might be better. Yeah, the instead of talking about the scariness of the blank canvas, is talking about it could have been anything, and now it was something crappy. The endless potential of a blank canvas, and it becoming just not becoming less subjective is good. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea a lot. That now it can't be anything. So open to interpretation. Open, no longer open to. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, that's not. True. Yeah, the endless possibility had ended. The endless possibility of the blank canvas had suddenly ended. All right, sorry, I keep going back and forth here. Saucer, saucer craving. What would it be? In bad need of a saucer. Desperate need. Someone a desperate need for a saucer. Okay, how about he often expressed his desperate need for a saucer. There we go. So it's kind of like a role play thing, or like any, even though he knows it's completely wrong, he does it anyway. He often expressed his desperate need for a saucer. There we go, and it slows down the coffee making process. Yeah, I like the often expressed his desperate need for a saucer. That wording works okay. All right. Oh, it can be anything, but once it's begun, it's done. Yeah. I like. Oh, that's good, K5. I like that. Yeah, I want. Yeah, the sadness of it being something of it. Yeah, and it being something bad. Because it's kind of like, that's a kind of a life thing. There's so many possibilities and dreams about what you can be or what you want to be when you're young, and you don't have to narrow things down. But once you do, and then it turns out you're just an accountant or you're just whatever, and it's not even close. So longing to be blank, he never expected to wish to wish he was blank again. How do you say going back to blank? Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, once it's begun, it's all over. Yeah, I like that idea a lot too. Or the once blank canvas. Once blank canvas. Felt the inevitable slide into bad art. Bad art. Bum, bum. Inevitable. Sickening slide. Inevitable is not. Felt the. Oh, maybe just painful process. Full process of becoming. No. I like the painful process of becoming bad art. He was well on his way. Here's a through. He was well on his way. Well on his way on the paint. Well on his way on. That's on the path to becoming bad art. Okay, let's not do that. So. Oh, yeah, waiting too long. Yeah. Yeah, waited too long. So indecision. Indecision was a big part of the process of becoming bad art. Yeah, make it into a waiting too long to decide. Yeah, I like the subjective joke too. He felt much less he felt much more subjective. Yeah, now with some paint on him, he felt much more subjective. Yeah, my original joke was going to be about the back of the canvas. Oh, and that still could be the joke. Like the canvas on the left could actually, prefer the back. So the eyes would have to be interpreted as upside down. Let's see. Yeah, that might sound a little odd though. Make it waiting too long. Yeah, I don't want to make that might sound a little weirdly sexual that we preferred the back of the canvas. Seeing the process. Somehow involved in the art making process. Yeah, I like that not liking what you've become thing. The back. K5 is putting in his vote. Preferred the back. In some rare instances. Preferred the back. So what about often looked better from behind. Bad art often looked better from behind. I don't know if there's enough going on there. By the way, oh, I like the oh yeah, right, yeah. That's kind of what I was going for. Yeah, that '90s paper cup thing. Yeah, it worked really well. The whatever that brush was, like blends the color, so it actually does look like paint on a canvas. So that Photoshop brush I was using looked nice and fun. Yeah, I can't believe somebody got. Well, I mean, they didn't get paid a lot for it, but they became known as the person that went boop, 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 boop with what, purple on top of turquoise or whatever. Yeah, that's my landscape, my '90s landscape. Looked better from behind. So is that it? What is an ugly girl reference? What is that? What is that? What is the joke? Or ugly guy? It could be. Yeah, it works both ways. Uh-oh. Now K5 loves it. Nice. All right. Yeah, this is a funny thing. I forget who said that, but somebody made the observation that when someone tries to fake like bad art or do something like draw a picture of art, a lot of times illustrators and artists do very interesting things when they're just trying to do something stupid, and it's supposed to look bad, but actually is sometimes much more interesting than their other drawings. I forget who said that and what it was about. I don't know if it was like in the context of comic strips or comic books or something, but they said, yeah, often when people try to draw something bad, it's actually more interesting than what they're really focused their energies on. Okay, I think we'll just do the from behind. Yeah, bad art and all that stuff. Bad art often look better from behind. Looking back, hindsight. Yeah, I guess it's because it's less. It's not very tragic. I was going from a much more tragic, like, he'd become this ugly thing, but so he's expecting to be turned around. I don't know. Yeah, it's the rhythm of that sentence is good. I don't know if the meaning is that fun. You often expressed his desperate need for sauce. So that one works. Nice. I have my first bid. All right. It's okay. 5 bids 100. Do I hear 105? I'll copy and paste and I can send it to you. Yeah, I could actually, it's pretty high resolution, so I could probably print it pretty big. I can like straighten it out and print it pretty big. That's so funny. Yeah, that's true too. The ambiguousness of it, leaves opportunity for somebody to make a comment. And I think people enjoy that on Go Comics. People enjoy that in that section, is to one up the cartoon or elaborate or tag the joke to make it funnier, or to kind of show that they get it, or they like that, the tone or whatever. Okay, so I think we're good. He often expressed. Yeah, I gotta be careful. I'm on a time limit for a while, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be too bad. All right. He often expressed his desperate need for a saucer. Okay, and bad art often looked better from behind. Yeah, shorter is always better for some reason. Yeah, some of those early cartoons I really rambled on a lot. There's way too much setup and identifying everything. The paper cup sitting on the counter with the eyes on it. It's way too elaborate in a lot of cases. All right, let me just make some quick JPEGs. And we'll get to the weird. It's a mess now. I don't know if it's like a supply chain problem, but there's much less fun stuff going on at the convenience store this summer. So maybe there's just people taking less chances on strange things. Okay, let me just make sure I save that. And yeah, but it's just the same old stuff at the convenience store recently. So I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why that's the case, but there we go. We're all set. Okay, so let's switch over. Oh, I saw the article, so it had the graphic for it. The article that said Sony paid a bunch of money to keep it away from the Xbox Game Pass thing. But yeah, I should check that out. Yeah, I'm curious about the game because there was obviously a little bit of a fight over it. So yeah, I want to check that out. But yeah, I have my PlayStation isn't hooked up in here. It's in another room, so I don't get to it very much. Oh, that reminds me, the Cyberpunk stream keeps popping up on my recommended page. Oh, that is the worst gaming stream ever. That's so funny. Yeah. Oh, I migrated. I mean, it's still on YouTube, but I both the Abuse Cartoons channel and the Upturned Table channel are now on Odyssey, because Odyssey's got this import thing. So I think I've got one view for all 300 videos or whatever. But and I think with when it imported, it doesn't import the live stream stuff, so that there's kind of just like random. It only imported 18 of the Abuse Cartoons actual streams, maybe because of length or something. Maybe some of the live streams are just too long, so the shorter live streams seem to have gone over there. But that's so funny that you keep getting that Cyberpunk stream. I couldn't even see what was going on because I tried to light myself, but then the monitor that I was using, the light glared, and I couldn't put. Yeah, it was my setup for that was such garbage. So that really dark spot with the in the training, I couldn't get to work at all. I couldn't understand what I was doing wrong when I needed to hack those guys or whatever. They fixed that totally. Like the 1.1 or whatever, the very next update, they fixed that demo, the tutorial level, because it really sucked. It had some broken stuff in it. So yeah, playing the 1.0 release was on a PlayStation 4 was quite a mistake. But I did make it all the way through. That's amazing. Nice. You just have to block that damn thing. Yeah, I'm getting recommended a lot of, even on when I'm on the Upturned Table channel, it's recommending a lot of my own videos, which is weird because I can't like them, or I don't even know if the views count, so I don't understand what that's all about. But anyhow, let's go to the convenience store. All right. So welcome to the Family Mart. And with the microphone coming out of the chat. So today we have an odd... There's a lot of English on this, so I'm suspecting this might be... it doesn't feel very Japanese. It feels Japanese in kind of design, but I don't know. Because I haven't heard of Amos before. So this is the Amos 4D gummy blocks. And so the gummy blocks are kind of imitating Lego blocks, as you can see. So a gummy building candy. So previously, I think I did Tetris. They did Tetris shapes for gummies. So you could like literally play Tetris with your gummies. Yeah, I know, gummies. Gummies. Too many gummies. But that's all that's like kind of changing. So it's fun to play with them. So they get all dirty and covered with dust, and then you can eat them. And the funny thing I thought for the naming is it's 4D. And there's no time-based, kinetic element to these gummies, of course, but it's 3D plus delicious. So the fourth D is delicious. So that is a really stupid English joke that I don't think a Japanese person could come up with. So it's leading me to think that these are maybe European, or yes, the origin of these are a little bit different. So these are soda flavored. So our flavors are going to be melon soda, which is very Japanese, soda, which is usually damone, pineapple soda, and cola. So one of those things is not going to taste good. And oh yeah, and there's depictions on the back. I think it's only a 2x2 block, though. I think it's just everything is 2x2 blocks. So you not have a big variety of shapes. But well, we'll see. We'll see once we get it open. No, maybe there are 1x2s and 2x2s. Yikes. And there's a QR code, but there's no website URL or anything printed on the bag. So yeah, it's all Japanese nutritional information, but a lot of English. And all the flavors and everything are written in English, no katakana. So I'm suspicious. But it was the only even slightly interesting snack going on. It's pretty standard stuff now. There's no new stuff at all. Okay, here's always the test. Oh, wow, not bad. Very fruity smell. Oh, they're all crazy different sizes. This is insane. Yeah, no, they're not messing around. All right, so we have our first pineapple soda block. So what, a 2x3? Wow. They're really, maybe because of the heat, they're really sticky though. And this looks like a ramune soda flavor. Let's see. Oh, they do. They do actually seat together. I mean, they don't click. Ooh, they kind of. They don't click together, but they do actually seat. They didn't. They cast they molded them well enough that they do actually seat together. That's crazy. And there are different sizes in here. Yeah, here's a 1x2. So you can actually, so they depict, little creations on the bag, and usually when they do that, that's like not even slightly possible, but this is crazy. Yeah, look at that. They seat together, and if there's enough surface area, they stick a little bit together because they're kind of slimy, kind of gooey. But okay, wait. I think if we do a bunch of 6s or a bunch of 2x3s, and then find a 2x2, I can show you my classic childhood creation. Let's see. I'm just gonna dump these out on the table and see what we got here. Yes, I think we can do this. Actually, no, those were 2x4. Yeah, I don't think we might not be able to do it because of 2x4. But my favorite thing to make when I was a kid, yeah, you can't quite do it with these. They were it's 2x4s. Oh yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. I can kind of do an approximation. So I'd make these birds that were really simple. Let's try a different color here. You can't, it's not gonna read very well. But I would make this series. I guess it's like the Lego equivalent of a paper crane. But I would make these birds that were just like these little what were they? 6 brick little configurations, and then they would also kind of. It won't stick together. They're the wrong size, so it won't stick together. But yeah, they're just kind of like little. I don't know what they were supposed to, like little buzzards or little like thick little birds, and I would just make a ton of these things. And because they were all the same shape, they would also click together. So I'm sorry, I can't reproduce it very well, but something like that. And then they would all click together, so I'd make like different. It was just kind of like I think because of Battle of the Planets, they're bird shaped, or their spaceship that turned into a bird, like a fiery phoenix. I was obsessed with. Okay, so they kind of work as a toy, but they don't stick together. Let's try one. So that was pineapple. It's not very pineapple. Yeah, I wish I had the right size so I could show you that stupid formation. Oh yeah, the flavor is just kind of odd. They're these. I don't think these are Japanese made, or they're the recipe is not, because there's very little like natural flavor. It tastes very, very artificial. But they're saying orange and cola. I don't know. Okay. Oh, red is cola. Ugh. Ew. Oh, ew, ew, ew. Yuck. Okay, the cola is terrible. You know how oh, it's really bad. Cola is really bad. So they're beautifully red. That's a nice red color, but they taste horrible. You know how when they do a fake cola flavor, it's just like an out of control like Christmas Christmas tea or some kind of weird flavor like that. Oh, that was horrible. Okay. I guess we're going to do... Wait, I don't see... I only see 3 colors. There's no soda. Yeah, there's no... What is this? Blue or green? Is it keying out? Yeah, it's keying out. What is this? What color is this? God damn it. Yeah, I guess it's green enough. But they're supposed to be. On the package, they show melon soda and soda. So there should be a green and a blue. And there's no... Yeah, there's no variation. There's only 3 colors in the bag. That's weird. Okay, so let's give this a shot. And I guess I'll be able to tell what this is supposed to be. It's Casper White. Oh. I'm supposed to be blue. Wait. It's really artificial. It's really bad. Ugh. Yeah, this is rare. In Japan, when I saw the Amos, the Amos brand there, I was a little suspicious that it's made somewhere else. It's really artificial tasting. Ugh. Okay, so these are fun to play with, but then just throw them away after they get all crushed. Hey, Matt, how's it going? A day late live stream. Oh, so we're trying to eat soda flavored faux Legos. Yuck. Oh wait, let's see here. So, yeah, there's no way to do it. There's no way to make. But that's kind of what the head looked like, the little bird head. So, not only did they not give us all the flavors that they promised, the cola flavor looks like cherry or something, and it tastes like garbage. And the other flavors are really weirdly artificial. So this is, I can't imagine. I think these are going to be in the super discount bin pretty fast. No one's going to buy these more than once. I mean, okay, they got the engineering correct, so you can actually like stack them as blocks, but they taste horrible, so you would never want to eat them. So why don't they just make them out of silicone or rubber or something? Because yeah, they sure are. I mean, I think just eating something made of only rubber, like an eraser or something, would taste better. Yeah, these taste really terrible. It's interesting. You can see, I don't know if you can see on the camera, you can see the little seam in there where they're cast. So they're cast in 2 halves right in the middle. But yeah, so they got the Lego construction part of it. It's just, I guess, you can't get delicious and stackable. I guess, pick one. We can make the candy work as a building toy, or we can make it taste good, but we can't do both. Yeah, so it's pretty impressive, though, that they actually seat together, and then that they were molded consistently enough. That would make me think Japan, but this flavor does not taste Japanese at all. It's really fake. It's very kind of American candy fake, almost like you taste like a petroleum base or something to the flavor. It's really disgusting. Yeah, that's right. Oh my god, everything but the red is keying out. Oh, that's weird. Is it floating? So I can only show you guys the red. Oh, that's crazy. So both the yellow and the greenish blue are keying out. So there we go. Wow, look at that. I'm not touching it, but yet somehow it floats. Weird. Yeah, so sorry. This is a green screen nightmare snack. Sorry. Yeah, so that's weird. Both the yellow and the green, like totally. The yellow, once it's mixed with that red, it's a little bit better. But yeah, I definitely am not gonna eat another one of these ever again. Ugh. Yeah, they smell okay, but they taste really bad. They're not even close to what they're supposed to taste like. And maybe to make them rigid enough, they had to use some weird chemical, to make the gummy work. So yeah, I wonder because and always the gummies in Japan are usually plant based. Oh yeah, I don't know. I'll have to take a look. The ingredients list is really long. There's a lot of scary chemical kanji in there too. So this looks like closer to a look. I'm holding nothing. I'm holding nothing. Sorry, everything keys out, so I can't show you much of anything. Only the red ones. But yeah, very strange. And they all smell the same, like a weird, vague sweetness, but they taste kind of different, but in a bad way. Yeah. So the cola one is really terrible. It just tastes like sickening sweet nutmeg and cinnamon. Something like a nightmare Christmas drink. Wow. So this was a complete failure. I should have known. How could I have not known? Not only does it key out tremendously, but it doesn't taste good at all. So I don't know. I don't even know if I cared if there was a gimmick like this with candy. I don't know if I really even cared how it tasted because the gimmick was so powerful. But as I've grown wiser in my old age. Strange. Yep, you only get one. Nothing is well engineered and delicious. Uh yeah, it's a really strange I haven't had that weird artificial taste in a long time. It's been a long time since I've had any American candy. So sorry, but the 4D block, the fourth D is not for delicious at all. It's not 3D plus delicious. It's 3D plus disturbing. And it is disturbing because it totally keys out. And it's a lot of calories. Wow, the whole bag there's a lot of something in there. I guess it's just sugar. It tastes very strange. They don't list any artificial sugar, though. Ugh. Yeah, it's really weird. And there's a lot of katakana, which is also usually chemical names. Yeah, wow. So I think an imported candy from a very unfortunate laboratory somewhere. But I'll take a look at that. There's a little QR code. I'll take a look at that later and see if I can find out if it's like some kind of like Bulgarian candy or something that they decided to do a Japanese version for. That would be my guess if it's some kind of like weird Eastern European, because you can tell the characters, like the way they depict the characters. This little red guy is not very Japanese, so it has a little bit of a foreign goofiness to it. So my guess is Eastern Europe, so we'll find out. Maybe this is the first Ukrainian candy I've had. Ugh. All right. Anyhow, let's get out of here. There we go. Wow, that was pretty strange. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it went that badly, and that they stole one of the flavors from us. We didn't get to have 4 flavors. Although I could have done without that cola. That was the worst. Wow. Well, it's good to see you, Matt. We finished Blade Runner Bulgarian candies taking the world by storm. It just reminds me of one of those, like, at the import shops here, you have this like weird international mix of like whatever the importer can get their hands on, and so you'll have like Korean candy and like Eastern European things and Spanish things and Egyptian things, like all kind of mashed together. So. Oof, yeah, it builds well though. I will have to compliment it on its ability to actually stack, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it all to be, malformed in the molding process, so that it didn't actually work. It was just the shape of Lego, but it didn't actually function. but it does. Sorry. So yeah, so Matt and I finished playing Blade Runner. That was really fun. We glad we got it in before they deleted the tabletop we were playing on. So we'll have to find. I'm taking a look at Owlbear Rodeo as another potential tabletop. I want to do. I want to do Foundry, but that might be hard running internationally. So I think Owlbear is another browser-based one, and I love the name of it too. Owlbear Rodeo is one of the best names of a VTT, and it's free as well. So we'll play around with that sometime. All right. Wow. So yeah, so watch the first episode of House of the Dragon. It was okay because they don't have. It wasn't okay because it was not great because they don't have George R.R. Martin's dialogue, because they're basing it on a history book, so the writers get to make up their own dialogue between the characters. Yeah, isn't that a great name? And it's literally, I think Rodeo is a maybe the reason they chose it is because Rodeo is a domain. It's actually a dot rodeo, so it's literally owlbear.rodeo. So maybe that's why they chose the awkward name. But yeah, I'll have to see how that works. If it's as easy to work with as Astral, maybe we'll just use that as a free alternative. But I do have the license for Foundry, so it's just the learning curve I'm worried about. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I can't wait to get my hands after playing that game. I can't wait to have the physical books, because that was really fun to mess around with, and a GM screen would have helped a lot, because I would have been shuffling papers. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't super highly recommend it, but it didn't. All the things I didn't like about seasons 6, 7, and 8 for Game of Thrones, it didn't have that feeling yet. But it also didn't have the hook that the first episode of Game of Thrones did. When they reshot the pilot, I think they did some restructuring and rewriting. But I don't know. I don't know if it's worth getting back into. And it's just like if a Star Wars, project is good and it's a prequel, you know where it ends. You know how poorly it ends. So why? Why are you gonna? And that's why I haven't gone back and watched any of the previous seasons of Game of Thrones, is because I know where it ends, and I don't want to ever watch that season 8 again. Probably 7 and 8 I will never watch again. So I could be convinced maybe to watch 1 through 6, but by 6, no fast travel yet. But they are going to do fast time travel. So they basically set up a story, and I think the young actors that they cast we're never going to see again. I'm not sure how soon they're going to do it, but they're going to jump 20 years or whatever into the future, and leave a lot of the young actors behind and age everybody up. So you're used to all these characters at the age they are now, and they're going to do a big time jump to cover the and it's just like a 30-year. I think this part of the series is just a 30-year span. The book itself covers 170 years, because it goes all the way up to the birth of Daenerys, I think. So it's the kind of whole history of the Targaryen, the dragon clan. The interesting thing that I noticed right away, and that I actually, on the behind the scenes thing, they said George R.R. Martin specified, is brighten some shit up, because I want the families to be represented by their big bright iconography, like the family crests and things. So there's a jousting tournament in the first episode, and everyone's shield and all the banners and everything are bright, identifiable colors of all the houses and things, and that's very nice. That makes a lot more sense, and you can identify people, and you can kind of see who the players are and stuff much more easily than when it's just these more subdued, moody, broody things in the background. So I think they did an interesting job of pulling out the sigils, the house sigils, pulling out the house sigils and giving you a lot of identification there. But I don't know. The casting isn't great. Everyone is just okay. There's no standout. I mean, there was like Charles Dance and Sean Bean in the first series. Those are really, really high level actors, and even Lena, the Cersei Lannister. I can't think of her name. Lena something. She was good enough, and Tyrion was fun for a while until he stopped being smart, just got bearded. But there's some good acting in that show, and the first episode there wasn't anybody that blew me away, and we're gonna lose half of them anyhow because they're all kids. Yeah, Rings of Power is gonna be brutal. I'm already so turned off by how they're marketing it and how they're like they're like pulling the like they've got the race card like halfway out of their sleeve before they even need it, because they're just like, go ahead, be racist, please be racist, we're going to claim you're racist against our show because of our casting choices. So that's how we're going to market it, and I think that's a real shame, and that's that doesn't speak well of Amazon's who they're letting run that series and stuff if they're going to do that crap right away. Because if the show sucks, the show sucks. It doesn't matter what color anybody is, in the show. It's not worth watching if it's poorly done. But I don't know. It's going to be that one. I bet it's going to be a very mixed thing. I bet there's going to be people that are going to defend it like crazy and say it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And then there's going to be more purist people or people, because there's so many people that hated the Peter Jackson movies. So, I thought that was a decent version of things, and it was at least very enjoyable to watch, and it brought those stories to a much wider audience. But maybe we don't need that. Maybe that wasn't very important, because now that Embracer Group owns Middle-earth Enterprises, they own everything. So we're going to see young Gandalf the movie and whatever Gollum, the teenage years of Schmeagol. It's going to be pretty brutal. Like the merchandising and stuff that they can do now is they can do whatever they want. I don't think they have the Tolkien estate is not going to restrict them very much unless it doesn't make money, because I think all those kids want is money now that all the grandkids, now the children are dead. It's just the grandchildren that just say, yeah, fuck you, pay me, and you can do whatever you want. So I don't know. I'm very afraid of future. We're gonna see like what Disney did with Star Wars. They're gonna now be able, Amazon or whoever is gonna license it can now do to Lord of the Rings, just like whatever they want. So yeah. Yeah, that's true, Matt. I think you're right. Yeah, Matt said, so my money is on it just being okay. Nothing groundbreaking, nothing real bad, because they've thrown so much money at it. Yeah, so it might have decent effects. Like the orcs looked pretty cool. And the CG for the trolls and stuff might be kind of interesting. But the story, I think it just might have intolerable acting and like story. Like the character stories are just going to be very odd. And just like trying too hard in certain ways. I don't know. It's really weird. And it's funny when they keep doing this, because, just like the prequel trilogy is a lot of people's Star Wars. Like the Phantom Menace is it's their beginning of Star Wars. Which is like unimaginable to a lot of people. That's the same thing is going to happen. Oh, I watched the Rings of Power, and I didn't even, so it's the same world as the Lord of the Rings movies. I'll go back and watch those. Oh, I didn't like those movies. They're very blue, very gray and blue. I don't like those movies very much, but I really like those Rings of Power. I don't know, but that's all this younger generation is going to know. They're just going to know a cheeseball exploited fantasy setting that is Lord of the Rings. They're not going to have any clue of kind of the history and the significance of that series. Yes. So I don't think anything good is going to come of this. I think that they're just going to try to make this. So, and it looks like from some of the acting, it literally of Rings of Power, it looks like CW level acting between these characters. It looks garbage. So yeah, I'm really getting tired of that, because I didn't really fall for any of the Netflix Marvel shows. I didn't think the acting was very good in there. There wasn't enough action to sustain it. And now that Disney is doing those shows, they're not any better. They're much more expensive, obviously, and they've got actors from the films in them, and they're just terrible. So I'm not expecting this to be anything, better than CW level acting with like hundreds of millions of dollars of CG to make all the the cities and everything look breathtaking. But I don't know. But we've got a week, and if it's bad, I hope it's bad, because it's more fun to not watch a series and watch like the reaction, like YouTubers' reactions to it when something is really bad. Because like the Star Trek, the new Star Trek, like Picard and the later seasons of Discovery, I was just watching through YouTubers because it was so poorly done that it was more fun to watch Star Trek fans like be angry than it was to try to follow some convoluted plot of time travel and just nonsense. So yeah, fun stuff. But even that gets you can't do a whole season of hate watching. What is it? What is it? Third party hate watching. It's a new genre of entertainment, is hate watching through someone else's recounting of a bad TV show. Yikes. But yeah, Lord of the Rings TV, why would you ever? I mean, you could do some really cool stuff with that if you got all the Tolkien scholars to go really hardcore into it and delve into so many little, like every little part. I can just imagine starting with The Hobbit and keeping that tone of more of The Hobbit and not getting into the War of the Ring, but like exploring Middle Earth in a real light, kind of fun way before things get too brutal. But I guess that's what I don't know what they're thinking. They're gonna do just some crazy. That's gonna be worse than House of the Dragon, is the time jumps that they're gonna do in Rings of Power. It's not even gonna make any sense. Yeah, Picard was really brutally bad. Yeah, it was just, I couldn't even. It's a shame too, because that's kind of the most identifiable character that that Picard, the actor that played Picard, played. Can't think of his name, but that's a shame that that's going to be his legacy. That they're going to end on this. Yeah, I won't spoil it in case you ever want to watch it, but it's not Picard anymore. By the end of the first season, he's not Picard anymore, and yeah, literally, is not Picard anymore. And I think Red Letter Media did the best I watched through of Picard. By the end, they were just like bleeding out of their eyes, but they did a nice montage of all the crying and despair and just like chugging alcohol and doing shots of hard liquor that all the characters were doing. Like, is this Star Trek? Like, what the fuck happened? It's like, this is not Starfleet. This is not what the hell happened? What are all these like violent, insane, alcoholic murderers doing in a Star Trek show? Patrick Stewart, thank you. Yes. It's a shame that and maybe he needed the money, so maybe it's good. But I think that if that's the legacy of that character, that's very sad for a lot of people, because people that find Next Generation on streaming as younger people watch through that, get to know that character, and then it's like, oh, let me watch Picard. It's gonna be like, why would they do this? But they may actually think, okay, well, that's what was supposed to happen to that character, and that's what was supposed to happen to Seven of Nine, and yeah, yikes. Poor Patrick Stewart. And he's not even Professor X anymore. I heard they're gonna cast, I don't know if it's final, but they're gonna cast Gus Fring, the actor that was the Los Pollos Hermanos, the Gus Fring character in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, that he's going to be the new Professor X, which I think he could pull off, but he can't wear glasses though. He shouldn't be wearing glasses. He always wears glasses. No, he doesn't. In Star Wars, he didn't. So I guess, but will they shave his head? I don't know. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He was in the David Lynch Dune. That's right. So he was what, Gurney Halleck, and he was what was in Excalibur. Who did he play in Excalibur? See, he wasn't Lancelot. Which what night was was Patrick Stewart in Excalibur? I totally don't remember him. If we're thinking about the same movie, it's the '80s, like King Arthur telling. I don't remember any like big name actors in that. Yeah, but we'll just have to let Patrick. I mean, he's quite elderly, so we'll just have to let him go, and hopefully that money will pay for whatever expenses need to be paid for, as at the end of his life. Yikes. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up there, so we won't bag on until they actually happen. We won't bag on any of those shows. But yeah, I can't imagine it's going to be good. So, abusecartoons.com is the website, and everything is archived on both YouTube and Twitch. And I'm going to have to make a decision pretty quick about what I want to keep streaming on, because I'm going to lose Facebook and my fourth option because they're taking all that away. So we'll see what happens. But oh, thanks, Unknown Girl. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Oh, okay. Oh, really? I have to go back and watch Excalibur. I totally don't remember Patrick Stewart being in it. Oh, cool. Okay. I'll do that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and gocomics.com/domestic abuse for the archive. If you want to go through and look at some random cartoons. And we're working our way, we're in 2006 now, and we're working our way up through the archive. What else? And yeah, so patreon.com/abusecartoons. And thank you, John, for, as always, for being my patron, keeping that account alive. And we'll be back next week to do the same thing. Yeah, take care, Matt. And yeah, hopefully I'll talk to you soon. And yeah, everybody take care and have a good night or afternoon or early morning or evening, wherever you are. And we'll do this again next week. So hopefully the same time, but it's going to be earlier. So just kind of expect that notification to come a few hours earlier, because I got to get finished before I got to pick certain people up from school. So take care, everyone. And thanks. Oh, yeah, Lil Will, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And we will do this again next week. So thanks for watching, and see you again. Goodbye.